Hi everyone, good morning. So I think we are good to start. So we welcome to all of you for joining this session. This is interpreted session number 3. So this will take hardly 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and I will be taking care of this session. So we will be discussing the interview questions and answers with a specific topic. And today's agenda is we are going to discuss about the date, how to deal with the date. Because if you are working in any of the domain, right, in any domain, insurance, banking, or any other, right, investment and all, everywhere transactions are there, right? There is a transaction inserted date, transaction update date, so many dates are there, right? So the data will be around the date columns, right? So whatever you will be getting at the end of the day, your total profit, total loss, total revenue, everything that will come through the dates, right? So we must be very strong on the dates. So we are going to discuss what kind of questions can be around the dates, right? So there may be many, right? But we have like the basic one, how to get current date and time, how to get previous date, how to get difference of two dates, how to get dates, month, year from a date, how to add any number in a date. Okay, like day, if you want to add some days, some months, some years in a date, how you will be adding, how you will be subtracting, right? How to find if there is any date in any of the column, you need to validate that's a valid date or not, how you will be validating, right? And in some of the interviews, we usually ask, like, find the last week of, find the last day of the week, how you will be getting, right? I mean, there may be many more, but these are the common generic thing, right? So around these, we are going to discuss all these questions, answers related to the dates, right? So let me go to SQL Server and let's discuss there. 1 second. So let me reshare my screen again. Okay. Here we are going to discuss. Let me copy those into questions from there. And let me paste here. Okay. Now, question highs. Okay. So now, first, okay. So before starting these questions answers, so guys, I want to tell you, like, there are certain functions available in any of the data DB server. Like there is, let's say we are working on SQL server, so there are some specific functions like get date. Okay, this is used to get the current date and time from a server. Then there is a date add. This is again a new function. Date difference. Okay, date part. Okay, these are some functions. There are a couple of more. We will be discussing those as well. Right. So around these functions, your all databases will be there. If you want to play around the date columns, you must be very strong on these, like how you will be working, how you can use these, right? So like the get date function, the name is itself is suggesting, see, SQL, any database is looks like a plain English, simple plain English, logical, simple plain English. Okay, if you will try to understand those words by yourself, you will be getting those in detail, right? Get date means current date and time. This function will return. What is this function return? Current date and time. Okay, next. What date add? if you want to add anything in date, right? Date add, the function, try to understand logically. If you want to add anything in a date, you can use date add function, right? Can add, how, what you can add in a date? You can add days, you can add months, you can add years, right? In a date. Date difference, if you want to get a difference of two dates, right? So the name is itself suggesting the same. If you want to get a difference of two date, then you will be using date difference functions. Can get difference of two dates, right? Date part itself, again, try, if you will try to understand logically the name, the word, again, it will give you the date part. What's the date part? Let's say, for an example, there is a date 2024, okay, and 06/17. This is the current date, right? Now, if what parts are there in this date? There are three parts in this date, right? First part is year, then month, then days. If you want to get any part of the date, you will be using date part function. Can get any part of date, right? So these are the functions, very easy. And if you will try to understand these logically, you will feel like this is a simple plain English, right? Now, let's move to next. The first question, right? How to get a current date and time. So what is the function to get the current date and time? Get date. You can write on the chat box at the same time, right? From this list, what is the function to which return the current date and time? Can you please write in the chat box? Yeah, get date, right? So you can use get date function to get the current date and time, right? So let's see how this will be. And one more thing I want to tell you to everyone, like each functions in the database you can execute with a simple select statement, right? If I want to execute get date function, you will have to write select statement before that, right? So how you will be getting select and then get date, okay? And then let's execute. It will return current date and time. Here is your current date and time, right? So if interviewer or anyone will ask like how you will get the current date and time, you will say like using get date function, you will be getting current date and time, right? Next, how to get a previous date, like yesterday's date, right? If you want to get yesterday's date or tomorrow's date or 2 days before date or 2 days after date, right? So there is a function where you can add something in a date. Do you think is there any function where you can add something in a date? Right? Can you please write in the chat box? Yeah. So that is a date add function. Using the date add function, you can add or subtract from a date, right? So how to use that? Again, using the same select statement, right? So select date add, right? In a date add function. Now the question is, what you want to add? Your question was you were looking for the previous date, right? Previous date. So previous date means whatever is the current day, you want to do -1, right? So here is a day, right? You will be using parameter day, like you want to subtract -1. You want to subtract -1 of current date. What is the current date? How you get a current date? You get using a get function, right? get date function. So put the get date function here, right? We have already worked during the session, right? In this on detail. So if you will be looking here, so it will subtract 1. Like this is the previous date, right? Now, if you want to get tomorrow's date, right? What will be the tomorrow's date? What you need to do? Like here we are using -1. What's the current date? We are just doing -1. So instead of -1, you will be just removing the minus, and then you will be executing your SQL. You will be getting tomorrow's date, right? So this is work, and this is how you can get previous date, tomorrow's date, before today's date, right? So you will be able to achieve your outcome based on it, right? Next question.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi. Sir, means how many days or after date
Okay,
we want? Means I want 4 days after the date. Oh. So I will add there 4, right?
yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's move to next. Date difference of two dates. Okay. Let's say interviewer will ask like how you will be getting a difference of two dates. Let's say you have two dates. Okay. Here you will be having two dates. Like first date is, let me copy this. This is one of the date. Okay. And I have another date like 26, right? I want to get the difference of these two dates. These two dates can be any date, right? I just to take an example, right, of these two dates. I want to get a difference of these two dates, right? If I want to get a difference of two dates, so do you see any date function which returns the difference of two dates? Do you see any function? Can you please write down on the chat box? Yeah. Great. So there is a date difference function, right? Using the date difference function, you can get the difference of two date, right? So let's execute that. Select date difference. Okay. Now here, within the date difference, you will be getting the date difference in a year, month, or days. Let's say I want to get a difference in day, right? Now put the first date. This is my first date. Okay. Then put the second date as in second or third argument. Okay. Now you can execute it. So you will be getting the difference in a days, right? So 10 days difference you will have between these two dates. So this is how you can get a difference of two dates. So interviewer usually ask, even though you will be using frequently these kind of functions to get a difference of multiple dates. Now, next, how to get days, month, year from a date. So this is like day, month, or year. This is the part of any date. If you want to get any part of a date, do you see any function related to the date part? Yes, that's the date part function. Correct. Okay. So how you will be using that? So let's see. Okay. Now, how you will be getting any part of any date? Let's say, let me take an example of this date only. Okay. So I want to get year or and month or day from this particular date. So I have a function date part. How I will be using? Select date part. Okay. Now, which part I want to get? I want to get month. So if I will be putting here first argument as in month, okay. Now put the date, whatever date you will have. Okay, so this will return you the month from a date. Like this is a 6 month. If you want to get a year from this date, so you will be passing here year. Okay, as an argument, you will be getting year 2024. If you want to get day from this date, so you will be passing day here, right? Now you will be getting day, like 16 is a date. Now these three parameters you can use, like if you want to get month from a date, you will be passing month. Even though there is one more thing, if you want to get month, so there is again one more argument that will return the same thing, mm. You can just pass mm here, so that will also return the month, right? 6. If you want to get year, so either you can pass here year, or you can pass here 4 times y, right? So you can pass here 4 times y, so that will also return year from a date. So any of the argument you can pass to get the year. And for getting the days, either you can pass day or you can pass dd, right? So you will be getting days, right? So this is how you can get the date part. You can get the days, month, year from any date, right? And you can start to utilize this, right? So this one we are done. How to get now? How you can add 10 days, 10 months, 10 year in any date? Hi Yogesh, date difference. We can use month also. Yes, we can. Yes, correct. Okay. Now, next is if you want to add 10 days, 10 months, or 10 year, okay, in any of the dates, then how you will be adding? How you will be adding? I want to see, like if I will be adding, 30 days in my date, so what will be the next date, right? So how I will be doing it? So this is the next question. So here just try to understand first. You are going to add, 10 days. So days is a date part. You are going to add 10 months. That is a part of a date, right? If you want to add anything in a date, you want to add anything in a date. So do we have any function here which can help you out to add the date, to add anything in a date? Do you have? Yes, we have a date add function. So date add function help us to add anything in a date, right? So let's see. We already practiced during the live sessions in a detail, right? All these we are just discussing the inter questions and answers in a very fast manner, right? So here, how we will be adding it. Okay, so date add. So select date add. Okay, now what you want to add? I want to add some days, right? How many days? 10 days. In which date? I have a date. Here I do have a date. Okay. Or let's take a current date and time. Current. Okay. How to get a current date? How to get? Type in chat box. How to get the current date? I will be putting the same function. Get date, right? So let me put here get date, right? So let me execute. So here you will be getting, like if you will be adding 10 days in a date, so you will have this current date and time after 10 days. If you want to add 10 months in a date. 10 months. So what will be the parameter here? If instead of DD, what I need to pass here? Type in the chat box. Yeah, MM, right? So there will be MM. Now see what will be the date after adding 10 month in a date. So here you will see that will be 17th April 2025. Yeah, Ramesh, correct. We can add month as well, like here month instead of we can pass month as well, and that will be returning the same value, right? Now if I want to add 10 years in a date, which parameter I will be passing here? Sharvanti, 2y, is it? Okay, you will have to pass 4 times y, right? Or year. Yeah, correct, Ramesh. So any of these we can pass. Okay, did you get chance to think about it? Like for a month, we are passing for a day, we are passing DD, and for a year, we are passing 4 times Y. Did you get a chance? Like why this is in 2, this is in 2, and this is in 4? Why? Yeah. Basically, month can be in 2 digits, date can be in 2 digits, but your year will be in 4 digits. This is the reason we are passing it like this. Correct? Now, let's move to the next question. What's the next question? Find a valid date. Being a tester, this is the thing, right? We need to validate always, like that's the correct date inserted or not, right? So how to validate like that's a valid date or not, right? So let's say for an example, you have any date, like this date, these 2 dates you have, right? Valid date. Okay, let's say you have 2 dates, and you will have to find like that's a correct date or not. So there is a function to get the to identify the to validate the date, basically. Okay, that will help you out. Okay, that will help you out to validate any date, right? So the function is date. Okay, select is date, and here you can pass the date. Like let me pass this date, and then we will be playing around it. Okay, now let me execute. If this function will return 1, means that's a valid date. If this function will return 0, means that's a invalid date, wrong data, right? So do you see it's the correct date or not? Type in a chat box. You are looking at this date. This is a valid date or not? Yes, that's a valid date. Now I'm going to change this date, and you will have to tell me like this is like days. Here, I'm just typing 32. Do you see 32 will be any date? Yes or no? Type. No, that's not a valid date. So what will be the outcome? What should be the outcome ideally? 0 or 1? 0, correct. So that will be like, let me execute. So 0, right? Now, similarly, let me change the month. Okay, instead of 6, let me change 20 or 13. Okay, do you see 13 is a valid month? No, right? So let me execute it. 0, right? So this is how you can pass here. Okay, like here I'm just trying to pass year. This is a year. Do you see this is a valid year? No, right? So this will again return 0. Okay, so in real time, you will have a date column. What if we use only single digit in month? Okay, let's see. If you will try to use single digit, there will be no difference because that is a 1, right? Right? 1 is a January, right? That's a valid date. Got it, Narasimhan? Okay, now. Okay, so this is how you can validate. There may be so many date columns in your current database, right? So you will have to validate, like always chance there is to get a bad data from source, right? Whenever you will be playing with a in a data domain with the data as a data scientist, data analyst, or QA or a developer, right? If you will be playing with the data, then there is a chance there will be so many invalid data may be there. You will have to validate that's a correct data or not. This is how you can validate a correct dates, right? Next, the last. This is something interesting. How to get last day of a week? We are in a current week. We are in a current week. Let me copy that particular question from there. Okay. Here we will be using those logics which we just learned about the date functions. Couple of logics will be used here in this one question only, right? If you need to get the last day of any week, how you will be getting, right? There is a basic thing. First, you learn couple of functions, get date, right? Get date returns what? What returned by the get date function? Yes, current date and time. We will be using date add function in this to achieve this. So what will be returned by the date add function? What date add function will do? Type in chat box. What date add function will do? Add two dates. No. Add or subtract. Yes. You can add something in a date or you can subtract for a given date. Yes, Narasimhan, you are right. Add date based on the parameters. Correct, Kirti? You always use your name KS, right? Okay. Harshita. Oh, yeah, correct. You all are correct, right? We will be using this function. One more function we will be using here, like date part. Okay. What date part function will return? What date part function will return? Okay. Okay. A date part. Yeah. Locase. Correct. Yes. So date part function will return any part of a day, either day, month, or year. So with the help of these three functions, we are going to get the last day of the week. Right? So let's see how it will return. See, these kind of real-time scenarios will be there always. So you need to think first. Okay, once you will analyze, take some time, couple of seconds, 4-5 seconds, like how you will be achieving it, right? Then try to use the functions whatever you want to use. Okay, you know all the functions now around the dates, right? So now let's start it. Okay, so first there is a get date function. Get date will help you to return the current date, right? So let's get the today's day. What is the today's day, right? What is the weekday basically, right? So using the date part, date part is written the date part, right? Either the day, either the month, either the year, and you can get weekday as well from the date part function. With the date part function, you can get the weekday as well. What is the weekday today? Which number we do have, right? Can someone please tell any week start from which day? Are you guys aware? Monday. Okay. Schools open, office open on Monday. Yes, Madhusudan, correct. Correct. Sunday. Yes, Nishan. Yes, Ramesh. Yes, correct. Yeah, you all are correct. Right? Sunday. Sunday is a first day of any date. Right? So, how you will be getting? How you will be getting? If I want to think yourself, I want to get weekday or any day, how you will be getting? Using the select statement with date part, with the date part. Okay, so you need to pass here weekday. Okay, and then pass here date. What you need to achieve? You want to get what's the last day of a week, right? So today's day, weekday will return today's day, and from where? From the current date. Current rate, how you will be getting current rate? Using get date function. What it will return? See, 2. Do you think this is correct or not? Do you think this is correct or not? 2 days is 2. Hey man, this is correct, Madhusudan. Sunday is 1, right? Week start from Sunday. Correct? Today is Monday. That's why this is 2. Right? So that's correct. Now. Okay, great. Now, this today's day, you got it. Now, every week has how many days? Every week has how many days? 7 days, right? So if you will be doing, like whatever weekday you are getting, you will do minus 7. 7 minus 2, whatever the current weekday is, right? So here, if I will be doing 7 minus this date part, so that will be your 5, right? That will be your 5, right? And when 5 will be? Means 5 will be from today. After today, right? There will be 5. So now you are going to get that particular date, like what will be date? You get this number, right? You get this number. Like if you will be adding in current date, this particular number, you will be getting your that day. What will be the last day of the week? You will be getting that particular date, right? So you understood, like if you will be adding 5 days, this is 5, right? If you will be adding 5 days in your current date, then you will be getting your last week of the day, right? This is the last week of the day. See, today is, let me go back again, like here, this is the 2 days day in a week. This is the 2 days day in a week, right? But in a week, how many days are there? 7, right? So what would be the last? What would be the last day of a week? Last. So you will do 7 minus this, right? What is the today? So there's a difference of 5. So if you will be adding in current date 5, then you will be getting your that particular date. How you will be adding now? Go ahead and tell. Go ahead and tell. Right? Date add. Yes. Yes. Date using the date add function. So date add function accept how many parameters? Date add function accept 3 parameters, correct? Like day and whatever number you want to add, right? And then whatever date you want, right? So here, let's have select date add. Now, in date add, where you want to add? In day, right? How many days you want to add? Tell me how many days you want to add? 5. Okay, 5. Okay, but we cannot pass hard-coded value. We cannot pass hard-coded value. We will be passing the dynamic, right? Maybe after tomorrow you will be looking, maybe after 3 days you will be looking, right? So we never pass the hard-coded value like 5, 2, 3, 7. 7 is a hard-coded because you cannot change. Every week will have 7 days. That's fixed. That will never change, right? So what you will be passing as a second parameter here? Think and tell. Take a couple of seconds and tell me the correct. Tell. No. And this particular logic is returning, right? 5. So you will have to pass this particular logic. That's why we have written first that, right? This complete logic. Now, after this, in which date you want to add? In current date? Today's date? What's the today's date? How you will be getting today's date? Get date function. Okay. Now, let's say, and finally, you are done. See, that will be this date. The last day of the week will be 22. You can check that should be the date of your Saturday. Check it out in your system and tell me that's correct or not. That's correct or not? Correct? Yes. So this is how you will have to do it, guys, right? So using the multiple parameters, see, like we have used date part, we have used date add, we have used date get date. We used three functions to achieve this particular target. Okay, so what you need to do? You will have to think little in a pieces, then add in one go. Do you think if I will write this particular line in one go, do you think you will be able to understand? No, you will take a lot of time to understand it. That's why I try to explain in a small pieces so that you will get it like, yes, this is how you can achieve it. Okay. Now, Sharvanti has a query. She raised a hand. 1 second. Yes, go ahead, Sharvanti. What's your query? Unmute yourself and ask. Sharvanti, you
Sir,
raised.
yes, sir. Actually, why do we need to pass weekday rather than passing the date part of get date is okay, right? Then we get the date part.
See, this is just introduction answers. If you need to do R&D that from your side, right? And try to think like why we are passing, why this is working,
No,
right?
I understood, sir. Okay, if it is in a double digit, then we need to convert in weekday. Sorry.
So, right. So that's easy thing, not too much complicated, right?
No,
Okay. Yeah, I think we are done around these dates. So guys, this is something, right? Very easy to play with the dates is something very easy, but usually we scared about it, right? So I will request you to all of you, maximum of you in your sessions, these date functions are already covered. In some of the batches, these date functions are not covered. So, but if this is not covered in your current batch, so you will be getting here something at least 50%, 60% things you are getting from here. Later on, once you will complete in your session, so you will be getting those. Okay. So what I will request, do practice around these and try to learn all these so that once you will be practicing, you will be doing, then you will be getting all the questions, answers around it. And see, like the last one, to find the last day of the week, right? Similarly, you can find the days as well, like Sunday, Monday, or if someone will pass any date, so what will be the day on that particular date, right? Let's say for an example, if I am going to pass any date like this, so what will be the day? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, what will be the day on that particular date. So try to use these functions and try to get it. And let me know, right? This is easy to get it, right? So, I mean, using these all functions together, you can achieve anything in the dates. That's all, okay? So guys, I think we are done about the dates. We hope you all are good. You got something. So let's meet on Wednesday. We will be covering the new thing, okay? And hope you enjoyed. So I will request you do practice around these so that you will be getting all these things on your tips. These should be on your tips. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a good day.